Good afternoon, family, friends, and guests. Welcome again to Tarot Passage. I know it's been a while since I put any videos out, and I apologize for the delay. We've actually been moving from our apartment into a house, but now that we're settled in, I'll have a lot more time to produce content. Today's video is going to be on the topic of what you need from your partner in order to improve your relationship, and then we'll take a look at what they need from you as well. If you're new to Pick a Card readings, you'll see 3 piles in front of you. Pile number 1 on the left, pile number 2 in the middle, and pile number 3 on the right. All you have to do is focus on your partner, then select pile number 1, 2, or 3. Then click the corresponding timestamp to skip ahead to your reading. Now, because this is a general reading, which is meant for multiple people, you may feel drawn to 2 different piles, or you'll find that the roles may be reversed in the pile that you choose. Just keep in mind that this reading is meant for multiple people, so I will be referring to any masculine energies as he and feminine energies as she, but again, those roles may be reversed in your situation. Now, without further ado, let's get into the reading. Welcome again, pile number 1. If you chose this pile, the first card that you got is the Earthworm. Second card is the only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. And the third card is get to know each other. Learn to meet another's need for love. So pile number 1, I can see that the issue that you're having with your partner is that they're being blind to some of your needs. It looks like when you're communicating with this person, they're saying that they understand and they appear to be listening, but they're not actually digesting what you're telling them. It's like after the conversation is over with, they forget everything that you guys just talked about. And it's not that they aren't listening. They do, in fact, remember the conversation, but they just don't know what to do with the information that you've given them. Something that may help this person to process what you're telling them is to give them time to think about it and then reapproach it later to see if they found a solution to the issue. And if they haven't, then this person may need more direction from you. Taking a look at the third card, it says get to know each other. So one of the issues that you guys may have is not spending enough time together. A good example would be if you're telling your partner, I want to spend more time with you, and then they say okay, and you guys end up sitting in the room watching television all night, but not really engaging with each other. They're going to need a bit more direction than just saying what you need. So, if the issue is spending time together, then make a concrete plan for it. You may need to get specific with this person. Tell them when you want to spend time, how much time you want to spend together, what you want to do, where you want to go. And when you are spending this quality time together, make sure that you guys aren't on your phones. If your partner has an issue with being distracted by their cell phone, then talk to them about it. Make an agreement that while you're spending quality time together, you won't be on the phone with anybody else unless it's an emergency. Alright, pile number 1, let's move on to the second half of the reading, which is what your partner is needing from you. Alright, pile number 1, you got the Father of Swords, the Mother of Pentacles, and the Mother of Cups. So pile number 1, with the Father of Swords, I'm seeing that your partner is highly intellectual and a very logical person. So when you have heart-to-heart conversations with this person, you may feel like their words are very cutting. And it's not that they're trying to hurt your feelings. This person just likes to get to the crux of the issue. Now with the Mother of Cups card, the card on the right, you can see that the swan on the card is shielding that cup. And at the same time, that swan is looking and pointing towards the Father of Swords. So your partner is aware of their emotions, but they have a tendency to default to logic when it comes to emotional discussions. Now, not only is the Mother of Cups pointed towards the Father of Swords, but it's also pointing towards the Mother of Pentacles, which is being depicted by a doe and her fawn. So what your partner is needing from you is to understand that they do have an emotional side to them, and that they are a very nurturing and compassionate person. They want you to realize that they do enjoy having a very close bond with you, and that they are doing the best that they can to be attentive to your needs. So the main thing that your partner requires from you is understanding their style of communication. Your partner may not cry when they're sad, or yell when they're angry, or bounce off the walls when they're happy, but this doesn't mean that they don't feel those emotions to the same degree that you do. And the only thing that they're requiring from you is a better understanding of their mode of expression. So pile number 1, that's all I've got for you today. I hope that this has provided some insight into your situation so that you guys can better your relationship. Now don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, feel free to purchase one on my website, which is www.tarotpassage.com. And I'll provide you with a reading which is specifically tailored to your situation. Also on my website, there's a chance to win a free reading and a drawing that we do weekly. So be sure to check that out when you have some time. Thank you again for choosing Tarot Passage, and I hope to see you on the next video. Welcome again, pile number 2. Alright, pile number 2. So you've got the Lion. You've got act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. And you have do something for someone, give your attention to another. With the Lion card, I'm seeing that there are 3 main categories that your person may fall under. For some of you guys, your partner is being too prideful and making a lot of decisions based on their ego and not what's mutually beneficial for the both of you. And what you're needing from them is for them to be more considerate when they're making decisions. I can definitely see that there have been disagreements between the two of you where this person is not willing to compromise at all. And it's not necessarily because your way or your view is wrong, it's just that they don't want to be wrong. So what you really need from this person is for them to meet you halfway. In order for your relationship to get better, your partner is going to have to step away from their ego. They're going to have to swallow that pride, admit when they're wrong, and acknowledge when you are right. Otherwise, the relationship will remain unbalanced. Now, for others of you, your partner is not being as protective over you as they should be, and this is causing a lot of friction within your relationship. I can see that this is mainly happening when they're in the presence of their family members, And instead of your partner speaking up on your behalf, they're allowing their family members to relentlessly criticize you. And I can see that this is very hurtful because what they're saying about you is not necessarily true. And your partner knows that, but they're not speaking out against it. And this is very damaging to the relationship because you wouldn't let anyone do that to them. And so what you're requiring from your partner is for them to be more considerate of your feelings. You desperately need for your partner to step up and defend you, instead of them sitting back and listening to people belittle you. They should be behaving as though you were sitting right next to them. And they should be just as offended as you would be. They need to realize that this is a major part of your frustration with them because it's causing them to be inconsistent with you. And what I mean by that is that they treat you a certain way when you're alone, but when you're with these people that are criticizing you, they treat you like a whole different person. And this is causing you and them a lot of unnecessary stress. So the only way for this relationship to get better is for them to demonstrate to you that they are actually loyal to you and your connection. And they need to do this by calling those people out. Now, moving on to the last category of that Lion card. There's a small percentage of you that feel like your person is not showing enough leadership and initiative in your relationship. You often find yourself having to prompt this person to do things that they know need to be done. Now, once they get up and set out to do something, they excel at what they put their mind to, and they accomplish the task very easily. But you need them to realize that it's a burden for you to have to prompt them constantly to do things. So this person is very capable, but they may need some help with planning. Because if they become a better planner and they stick to an agenda, then naturally things will start to get done and you will be relieved of a lot of the burdens that you're feeling. So pile number 2, let's move on to what your partner needs from you. So you've got the High Priestess, the Fool card, and the Nine of Swords. Alright, pile number 2, I can see that you have a hell of a lot of anxiety. With these cards, you're being represented by the High Priestess card. If you look at the card, you've got that beautiful tiger there, looking off into the distance in deep thought. This is a card of intuition. It's also about using your life experiences to determine the outcomes of situations. Now, the next 2 cards that follow, the Fool card and the Nine of Swords, are representing what's constantly in the back of your mind. If you take a look at that card, you'll see that there's a baby bird about to take a step off of a branch. It appears as though the bird will fall into the darkness, and its ultimate fate will be the card to the right of it, the Nine of Swords. This is very representative of you expecting the worst outcome to every situation. And by doing this, you are not allowing yourself to fully enjoy things. It's like sometimes you hate to even think what the possibilities of a situation are, because you know once you start going down that rabbit hole, that outcome is just going to get worse and worse every time. I can see that the power of your mind really frightens you. But in all reality, there is a balance to everything. So if something has the potential to become that bad, it has equally as much potential to become that good. It is impossible to tell exactly what will happen in every situation. And it's not healthy for you to only consider the negative aspect of things. Looking at the Fool card with the baby bird on the branch, it's impossible to tell how high up that branch is or how low to the ground it is, because we can't see the full picture. And it's impossible to know 100% that the outcome is going to be detrimental to that bird, because we simply do not have all of the information. It's important to understand that this thought pattern is a learned behavior, and it typically originates from enduring traumatic circumstances that reinforce that negative pattern of thinking. This is something that your partner has recognized in you. They may have even asked you at times why you're being so negative. In pile number 2, let me just say this. At some point, everyone is guilty of expecting the worst outcome, but the important factor is how often you expect the worst outcome. How often and to what degree do you express that everything is going to be a disaster? There's certainly nothing wrong with preparing yourself for the worst situation possible, but if you do not allow yourself balanced expectations, then perpetual negativity will not allow you to fully experience and appreciate some of the most joyful times in your life. In order to better your relationship with your partner, you will have to commit yourself to self-care. In pile number 2, this is a long-term commitment that requires you to break down your thought patterns, to closely examine why you think that, and what has happened to you in your past to make you feel that way. You will have to counteract that by intentionally and actively thinking and expressing twice as much positivity as you feel negativity. Pile number 2, this is shadow work that needs to be done. And what I mean by that is working with that side of you that is built in for self-preservation. This is working with that side of you that brings up all of those fears and negative emotions. And pile number 2, when you set out to do this work with yourself, it will improve more than just your relationship. This is something that will improve all areas of your life, and that is what your partner requires of you. But more importantly, this is what you require of yourself. Well, pile number 2, that's all I've got for you today. I hope that was insightful. If you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like a personal reading, feel free to visit my website and order one. It's www.tarotpassage.com. We also have a weekly drawing that we do, so you can enter a question for a chance to win a free reading. Thank you again for choosing Tarot Passage, and I hope to see you on the next video. Welcome again, pile number 3. So pile number 3, you've got the Unicorn. You've got You Are Limitless. You can do anything you choose. And you've got Demonstrate Love. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. So pile number 3, what I'm seeing right away is that you've got 2 unicorns here. Then on the card in the middle, you've got 2 swans right next to each other. And if you guys know anything about swans, they do mate for life. So once they find a mate, that is their person for the rest of their life. Then on the card to the right, almost every depiction on that card is about family. It's about nurturing. It's about caring for each other and being generally compassionate and supportive. I can tell that you think very highly of your partner, and they are an extraordinarily unique person. And what's really beautiful is that they feel the same way about you. It looks like there's hardly ever a time where you guys are not unified on a decision. And there's a lot of balance in the relationship. But what you're needing from your partner is for them to see themselves the way that you see them. You need this person to put drive and initiative into their passions and the things that make them happy. And you need for them to realize that the support is there for them. There's a lot of balance and unity in these cards. And I'd be very surprised if you guys weren't married or if this was not a long-term commitment. But what you're needing from your partner is for them to do something for themselves. You need them to invest in one of their talents, to do something that they've put off for themselves for a very long time. You need this person to give you an opportunity to be supportive of something that makes them happy. Because this person often finds themselves putting their own wants and needs aside for others. And the reason that you need this is because the both of you share each other's happiness. I can see that the things in your life that bring you joy also bring your partner joy. And it's to such a degree that if your partner did not like yellow flowers, for instance, but yellow flowers just happen to be your favorite, your partner's whole outlook on that object would change. And they may even go as far as to fill the whole yard with your favorite flower. And they would do this for you because seeing you happy really does mean that much to them. But anyway, pile number 3, what you're needing from your partner is for them to give you the opportunity to support them in something that they love. So let's take a look at what it is that your partner needs from you. Alright, pile number 3, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, you've got the 7 of Cups, and you've got the 8 of Pentacles. Looking at the Wheel of Fortune and the 7 of Cups, you can see that there's a sun and moon in both of those cards. This leads me to believe that you guys have a near perfect balance in each other. And this balance is consistent with the same balance that was in the other cards, especially with the swans. So you may feel that this person is indeed your soulmate. Your relationship is already good. And the only thing that I'm seeing that your partner requires of you is to be a bit more organized. I'm getting the vibe that a lot of you guys have very busy lives and a lot of things that you're constantly juggling and doing. There are some things that you guys can brainstorm about together to make your day feel less hectic and to make your tasks easier to accomplish simply because you've reorganized the order in which you do them. And this is definitely something that you and your partner can do together, because I have no doubt that if you tell your partner that you need help with something, you have their full undivided attention, and you also have their full support. So in order to improve your relationship, sit down with your partner and come up with some ways that you can both reorganize the way that you do things. Come up with a plan together to reorganize the house. Make it more suited and compatible to your daily activities. Pinpoint those things that you guys do not have any time to get done, and come up with a plan to get those chores under control. If you brainstorm solutions to these problems together and implement ways to make it better for the both of you, then this will allow you guys to have more time for each other and more time for your family. And it will also reduce the amount of stress that you guys are feeling from daily activities. For some of you, I'm seeing that the house being messy is a constant issue because you guys have such busy schedules. So maybe you guys need to get together and plan a day to just declutter, reorganize, and even rearrange some things in the house just to make it flow better. And that would help you both to just be in a much better mood and to feel refreshed when you come home instead of stressed out because there's a lot of things that you still need to do that you're too tired to get done. Soul pile number 3, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys would like a personal reading, then check out my website, which is www.tarotpassage.com. Also on my website, you can enter our weekly drawing for a chance to win a free reading. Thank you again for choosing Tarot Passage, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.